In the year 2010, YouTube would add a new way for users to keep their videos private while also being able to share them around the internet. Unlisted videos. These uploads can be watched by anyone, even if you don't have a YouTube account, but you can't actually see them anywhere on the site, even on the profile of the person who uploaded them. You can only access these videos if you have the direct link to them. This setting essentially removes videos from the so-called creator economy of YouTube, and it highlights the most common reason people upload videos to this platform. While you might associate YouTube with creators who make videos for the purpose of being viewed and shared around by strangers, the vast majority of uploaders on this platform use YouTube as a way to park video files, whether it's home movies or presentations for work or school projects. These sorts of videos are usually only shared between a small group of people, and the respective uploaders generally don't want their content to blow up. But before YouTube had the option to upload unlisted videos, sometimes these videos would do just that. In fact, a large chunk of the iconic selection of viral videos from the early days of YouTube were clips that were put up on the platform specifically to be shared between friends, and not really meant to be passed around the entire internet, sometimes to the dismay of their creators. While it might seem harmless for something like Charlie Bit My Finger to go viral, there was a darker side to home videos on YouTube that likely pushed the people responsible for the platform to make the unlisted feature in the first place. To put this in a way that won't break community guidelines, all I'm gonna say is that there are communities of depraved people on this platform who collect otherwise harmless home videos of children for their own disturbing purposes. I'm just gonna leave it at that. The option to keep your videos unlisted solved this problem, but it also invited other potential issues for YouTube. You see, when you upload an unlisted video, it goes through all of YouTube's normal automatic content ID checks, but it's never going to get manually flagged for copyright because, by nature, an unlisted video is essentially invisible to the rest of YouTube. This has resulted in people using unlisted videos as a way to share around copyrighted media, like full Hollywood movies, completely under YouTube's nose. On a more disturbing note, the ability to use YouTube to host videos that are invisible from the rest of the platform can be used as a way to share around more nefarious things. After all, it's happened many times that shock videos make it onto the platform until they get enough attention that somebody reports it and YouTube takes action. But without other YouTube users being able to see unlisted videos, these clips are never going to be reported. They're just going to live right where they are, undisturbed, being passed around communities outside YouTube. It makes you wonder just what sorts of horrifying things are lurking in unlisted YouTube videos. On this channel in the past, we've examined YouTube videos with very low view counts. We've also taken a look at Deep YouTube, the biggest part of this platform that's essentially hidden to the average user. And today, we're taking it a step further, and we're going to be diving into the world of unlisted YouTube videos. These videos are so hidden, you literally can't find them unless you have a direct link. Despite this, there are several ways you can find unlisted YouTube videos, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But for now, let me introduce you guys to our first unlisted horror. Wow, wasn't expecting that. Guys, there's something super important and very serious we gotta talk about. My ethnicity. Yeah, being from a colonial country like Canada, I've always been curious. Just where do my ancestors come from? Well, today, I was lucky enough to partner with MyHeritage to really get to the bottom of that. They sent me over one of their DNA kits. The process was super simple. I just had to swab the inside of my mouth and send it back to them, and they did a bunch of fancy science stuff with it, and well, now we've got the results, so let's check it out. Okay, 50.6% Irish. Not terribly surprised about that, you know, my name is Farrell McGuire. After all, I've got family in Ireland right now, I've got an Irish passport. I was pretty much expecting to see Ireland first here. Okay, 20.9% Scottish and Welsh. Guessing that just goes hand in hand with the Irish, you know, Celtic kind of thing. All right, almost 8% French. Half my family's Francophone. It'd be super weird if there was no French on there at all, and actually it's a little less than I was expecting, I guess. 6.4% English. Wow, wasn't expecting that. 14.3% other ethnicities, which I guess just appears to be everywhere in Europe. Another really cool feature of MyHeritage is they'll actually tell you when your DNA matches with other users who use the site. It's really cool to read through this list of DNA matches of people who are related to me and live on the other side of the world that I just had no idea about. If you're also curious about your genetic makeup, MyHeritage has a promotion going on right now. Click the link in the description box below or scan the QR code on screen and use my code Farrell to get an extra 10% off your DNA kit. Thank you to MyHeritage for sponsoring this video. In the world of sports entertainment, the WWE occupies a strange place. While other leagues and organizations try to enhance the spectacle of their competitive games with halftime shows, cutting-edge visual technology, or fistfights, the World Wrestling Entertainment Corporation takes it a step further and completely removes the sport from the equation. Instead of trained wrestlers competing for a title, we instead get a sort of live theater that usually consists of two sweaty, muscle-bound men wearing skimpy clothes pretending to physically dominate the other guy. With WWE essentially being fictional entertainment, the company is able to really play up the dramatics both on and off screen much more than any kind of real sport could, which definitely makes for a much more engaging experience for the fans, and has no doubt played a big part in the company reaching its insane $1.4 billion annual revenue. The WWE is huge, and has had an undeniable influence on modern culture, including the internet. On April 23, 2014, a user known as PWE Music would sign up for YouTube. They would use their channel to post their fan edits of songs they thought would make good entrance music for WWE wrestlers. An entrance song refers to the music that a wrestler walks out to. It's a pretty iconic part of the band, that's what PWE Music seems to be doing. They also have another channel where they make fake WWE commercials, so for the last 11 years, they've dedicated their entire online presence to making fan-made wrestling content. But if we look at their unlisted uploads, there appears to be something a little darker hiding under the surface. The video appears to show us a person filming in the woods at night. The scene is only illuminated by a light originating from the same point as where the camera is, meaning it's probably a flashlight or a light on the camera itself. The footage appears to slow down and speed up sporadically, and as it goes on, we can eventually make out a person standing in the trees, but the video is a little too blurry to make out who they are. Eventually the figure begins to walk towards the camera, which prompts the person filming to turn around and start either walking or running away. It's a little hard to tell with the footage speeding up and down. The video ends with this view of the camera pointed towards the ground. This upload is called deargod.flv. The description is written in binary. When decoded, it reads,
"He has found me, finally. We finally became one, but he still can't accept it because of his family. Mutates to a whole new world will open to him, and finally he will open his eyes upon the enlightenment I offer him."
This video is obviously very different from the rest of the content on this channel. You might think that maybe this was just uploaded before all the WWE stuff and the person running the channel just decided to rebrand it at some point and that's why this video is unlisted, right? Well, that's not the case here, because this video was uploaded in late 2016, a full 2 years after the channel had started uploading WWE fan music. The idea of a wrestling music archival channel just suddenly uploading this bizarre, creepy video out of the blue with no explanation is disturbing. The description doesn't really make a ton of sense on its own. To me, it reads like ARG internet mystery gibberish, but as we dive deeper into this rabbit hole, we are gonna find out the true meaning behind it. The music in the background of this video is a reversed and slowed down edit of the song "God Eat God" by Marilyn Manson. And in terms of a potential source for the visual component to this video, there doesn't appear to be one that I could find anywhere on the internet, which makes it pretty likely that PWE Music filmed this strange video in the woods themselves. Deargod.flv is not the only unlisted video on this channel, and the others are just as weird as this one, like lastday.end. This video is made up of old footage of nuclear bomb tests accompanied by some slightly out of tune electric guitar. In the description, we get more binary. This time it reads,
"He is awoken. He's coming now. Be prepared. I can't control him now."
Again, this is super out of place on a channel that's normally focused on wrestling stuff, but the last two unlisted uploads actually kind of brings it back around. This video is called GodEatGod.mp4, and it just appears to be a video of a bearded man put through a ton of filters. As far as I can tell, this appears to be the WWE wrestler known as Edge. The description is again just a ton of binary, this time reading,
"During my lifetime, I have been called many names. been in many bodies and never found one that was really worthy of my time, but I found this new one. He has a family and he earns money as a clown in a TV show, just like the last one, but we're still on time to save this one and stop him from ending his existence because of his weakness. I have awoken.
These descriptions appear to be telling a story of some sort of entity possessing clowns on TV, likely referring to WWE wrestlers. It mentions one of them that put an end to their own life, and another one they're on track to save. I'm sure some of you can probably see where this is going, but to the rest of you, this next upload will explain everything. The final unlisted video is called ConvictedKiller.mkv. This one focuses on the wrestler known as Chris Benoit. On June 23, 2007, Chris Benoit's friends began receiving multiple erratic text messages from both Chris and his wife. 4 of them reading, "My physical address is 130 Green Meadow Lane, Fayetteville, Georgia," followed by a 5th one reading, "The dogs are in the enclosed pool area, garage side door is open." A few hours later, Chris would call into the WWE office stating that he was at the hospital because his son had been vomiting and that he would be flying into Houston slightly later than scheduled. Chris was due to perform in a wrestling match that evening, but he never would end up taking that flight to Houston and he would miss the match. In fact, this call into the WWE office was the last anybody would ever hear from Chris Benoit. After these strange text messages and Benoit's unexplained missed Sunday match, the WWE decided to call in a welfare check at his house the very next day. There, police would find the bodies of Chris, his wife, and his 7-year-old son. It wouldn't take investigators very long to surmise that Nancy and Daniel Benoit had been murdered by Chris, who then went on to leave this mortal coil by his own hand, using his exercise equipment to do the job. While there was an explanation to this tragedy, an investigation would still be called to work out the details, which would only highlight how strange this case truly was. While you might assume a crime like this might happen because of domestic problems that brew for a long time and then blow up in a spectacular manner, possibly fueled by drugs and alcohol, the Benoit case is quite a bit different. Chris and his wife did have their fair share of problems, but there was a completely different factor that likely initiated this tragedy. During the autopsy of Benoit's body, doctors found that Chris's brain had been severely damaged, likely due to the repeated untreated concussions he suffered as a WWE performer, pulling off stunts like willingly taking blows to the back of the head. This trauma was so bad that the doctor said Benoit's brain most resembled that of an 85-year-old Alzheimer's patient, and that Chris most likely had been suffering from severe dementia in the days and weeks leading up to his death. On top of this, the toxicology report showed that Benoit's testosterone levels had exceeded the normal limit by 10 times, which was due to the testosterone boosters he had been taking. An overload of testosterone causes intense mood swings. Pair this with severe dementia, and Chris Benoit likely had a psychotic break that ultimately led to the demise of his entire family. And in the video ConvictedKiller.mkv, PWE Music eerily mixes a Chris Benoit promo video with photos of the crime scene. If I were to try to assign some sort of meaning to this strange lost internet horror project, I would say it might have been trying to highlight the way these extreme physical performers essentially destroy their bodies and minds for money. While the competition may be fake, the stunts these guys are doing are real, and if Chris Benoit had the brain of an 85-year-old with dementia due to the injuries he sustained while performing, then what about his peers? How many of them are headed down a similar path? Before we move on to our next topic, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, how exactly did I find these unlisted videos? After all, unlisted means these videos are invisible to the surface web, right? Well, while these videos might not be listed anywhere on YouTube itself, people do still share around unlisted links elsewhere on the surface internet. And other people have created web crawlers that look for these links and then put them into these giant databases filled with unlisted YouTube videos. The one I like to use is known as filmot.com. It has a bunch of useful tools like being able to search for a video by keywords in its transcript, searching by specific pieces of metadata, or, for this video in particular, searching through a giant collection of 9 million unlisted YouTube videos. I came across PWE Music by using this site. But for our next topic, we're going to move over to Reddit to talk about an insane mystery revolving around an unlisted YouTube video. If you're at all into horror and you've been on the internet as long as I have, then I'm sure you're no doubt familiar with the urban legend of username 666. A video would go viral in 2008, showing people the disturbing things that would happen to your web browser if you enter in youtube.com/666 into your address bar and repeatedly refresh the page, which would eventually show you this demonic-looking YouTube player presenting us a video depicting pulsating fleshy masses. This was obviously just an urban legend, but a few years ago, a news story would begin circulating the internet telling users that if they remove the H from watch in any YouTube video URL and hit enter, they'll be presented with a video called 666 by user 666, showing the same pulsating fleshy protrusions, which is all eerily similar to the original username 666 urban legend, minus the demonic looking user interface. On the surface, this is pretty creepy, and it appears to be some sort of corruption of how YouTube is supposed to work, but there is a reasonable explanation behind this. You see, the page youtube.com/watch is the one page where every single YouTube video is accessed from. It's all technically a single page. Think of the watch page as a DVD player and the videos as DVDs. You can swap them in and out, but they all play in the same player. The video ID in the URL, it's what's called an argument. It's what tells the watch page which video to load into the player. When you remove the H, you're now not on the watch page anymore. Instead, YouTube is going to look for a channel with the ID WATC. Most channel IDs have an @ symbol before them, but older channels had an opportunity to set up a custom URL that could be whatever they wanted. This is what's happening here. YouTube is no longer looking for a video to load, but rather redirecting to a channel called WATC, and the video ID in the URL gets ignored because channel pages do not ingest any arguments from the URL. You'll notice this trick no longer works. That's because the WATC channel was also using some sort of YouTube glitch to redirect users to the 666 video, and their channel appears to have been taken down because of that. It was a neat trick, but there also wasn't anything nefarious going on here. Despite that, this still intrigued many people, and users began playing around more with YouTube URLs, removing letters from watch to see what would happen. And once you know it, something much stranger would be found. If you remove the T from watch on a video page, you'll be redirected to a channel called WACH. Again, this is using that same deprecated custom URL feature that fueled that 666 thing. This channel might seem empty on the surface, but it's hiding an unlisted video that is a doorway into a giant internet rabbit hole. This video shows us a girl playing and singing a pretty nice original song on her acoustic guitar. The video is called Walking Blind, which is presumably the title of the song. It has 89,000 views and was uploaded in 2023, which is kind of weird as this video really seems quite a bit older than that. The girl's hairstyle and fashion sense screams mid-2000s, and not in a recent trendy Y2K way either. Pair this with a low frame rate webcam looking video with bad white balance, and I'm fairly certain this was recorded before the year 2010. The comments are even stranger. While some of them are complimenting the song and performance, most of them are just talking about how they got to the video by removing T from watch in the YouTube URL. If you search for Walking Blind on YouTube, you'll come across a much older upload of the same video on a different channel. This one is from the beginning of 2008, and it has almost 900,000 views. I'm willing to bet that this is the original upload of this song. The description appears pretty normal here, just saying how it's another song the uploader wrote. The comments, though, are a completely different story. Almost every comment here is talking about a walkthrough. When reading through all of these, you get the idea that some external site meant to link to a video game walkthrough, but instead linked to this video. This might seem like it could have been due to a simple typo or something, but other commenters say that they were also mistakenly linked from other sites on the internet. Like this guy saying he came from the Wikipedia article on Che Guevara, this one saying the link was supposed to be for an Excel tutorial, this one saying it was supposed to be a virtual tour of their school. The more comments you read, the more mistaken links you can find. There's obviously something really weird going on here. All this clip is more than 18 years old, the comments all seem to be written within the last 3 years. The channel that put up this video is called LQ, written in angle brackets presumably to look like a tag in HTML code. There's 3 other uploads on the channel, all of which seem to be the same girl playing guitar, the earliest one having close to 2 million views. This is another original song. The comments here seem to be more normal overall, but again, while the video is 18 years old, the vast majority of the comments seem to be written in the last couple of years, and there are still some unusual ones, like this guy saying that anytime he loads YouTube on his Tesla, this video plays. Several other people also say that every time they log into YouTube, they're redirected to this video. If we go to the OP's channel page, you won't see any of their uploads. Instead, you'll find a list of other channels that all have the same profile picture, just in different colors. The OP confirms in a community post they made a couple years ago that these are their other channels. The names mostly appear to be just punctuation symbols, and there's no consistency to any of the content posted here. This channel has a few Mario Kart Tour gameplay videos, this channel has a few videos of guys riding in a moped in the UK, and this channel has a video about the live action Initial D movie. Every channel here has almost no views or subscribers, with the exception of the last one, PQ. This one has a whopping 4 million subs, which have all apparently come from these incredibly popular Indian YouTube shorts they posted. But just like every other channel here, this YouTube has essentially no online presence outside the videos they posted. If we go back to the channel that posted those Mario Kart Tour gameplay videos, there is something that's different about this channel than the others. On their main channel page, there's a second row of linked channels, which are ones we haven't seen before. The profile pictures here all appear to be AI generated images, and the content of these channels is no less consistent than the others, but you will notice a new trend emerging here. If we click on this channel called Hide, you'll be greeted with a new list of channels. The last 3 listed here all have substantial subscriber accounts. If we click on the largest one, which is just called 3, and click on their uploads, we're once again greeted with the same girl. This is the exact same video that was on the LQ channel. And just like on that one, we're bombarded with comments saying how people got there while trying to log into their YouTube accounts, or were redirected to this video after receiving an error from YouTube. This re-upload has 3.5 million views. If we go back to that 3 channel and click on its description, which only says seed and nothing else, you'll also notice a link to another user here. This one is simply called S, and it's another channel with a very large number of subs. There are 2 videos here. One of them is called The Evolution of S, and it merely shows some Wayback Machine snapshots of the S YouTube channel at different points in time, dating all the way back to 2008. The second one is called Literally James Charles. This video shows the live subscriber count of a channel called Seed Tech, which appears to be drastically dropping in real time. You'll remember the last channel we talked about had only Seed as its description, and in fact, this S channel also says in its description, channel owned by Seed. We're finally nearing the end of this rabbit hole, but it's unfortunately gonna leave us with more questions than answers. Seed's channel is not terribly difficult to find, it's linked several times in many of these interlinked YouTube channels. This channel currently has 1.5 million subs, and if we take a look at their uploads, what the hell, dude? Once again, we get the same girl playing guitar. This is another massively popular re-upload with 2.9 million views. And wouldn't you know it, there's more than a few confused commenters here wondering how they even got to this video in the first place. This Seed channel seems to be at the center of this mess. All roads appear to lead right here. Seed also seems to have somewhat of an actual presence online too, with several currently active social media accounts and their own website. Their Twitter account seems to post quite a bit about technical YouTube stuff, which kinda leads into my theory about just what's going on here. I think that Seed is someone who obtained a ton of channels through some sort of means, and has been slowly rebranding them for his own purposes, whatever they may be. It's hard to say if these channels were hacked or merely just purchased, but Seed definitely doesn't seem to shy away from using some YouTube exploits, like channel redirecting, and so it's possible these channels were obtained through illegitimate means. And that still leaves the question, just who is this girl, and why does she seem to be at the center of this whole mystery? I do think that this LQ channel probably was her channel at some point, and these videos were her original uploads. Why Seed decided to re-upload them so many times across several of his channels, I'm not sure, and while it's really strange so many of these re-uploads have so many views, I think I do have some sort of explanation for that as well. All of these re-uploads are on very old channels, usually created within the first couple of years of YouTube's existence. Remember how the whole entrance into this rabbit hole was by removing the T in watch on a YouTube video page? I think essentially all of these re-uploads were linked to somehow by similar means, and all of those comments saying how they got to the video from the most random of places probably got there because the link they clicked on had a typo in it, with the word watch probably missing some letter. C likely used this to his advantage to gain views, either to grow a channel for whatever he intends to use it for, or just for fun. It's pretty hard to say. It's possible he chose the videos of the girls singing just because they're nice videos pretty much anyone would like, and that would increase the chances of it getting pushed in the YouTube algorithm because all these people being mistakenly redirected to them. In terms of who this girl actually is, I unfortunately have no idea. I tried to do some image back searches, but that only gave me a long list of other videos of Asian girls playing the acoustic guitar, none of whom are the person we're looking for. If you have any information about who this person is, or what might have happened to their YouTube channel, please let me know in the comments. I would be very curious. By the way, you made it through a lot of this video so far. You should probably subscribe if you're enjoying it, or else my videos may just disappear from your YouTube algorithm. Hey, wasn't this video supposed to be about unlisted YouTube videos? We kind of went pretty off track there for a bit. Let's try to bring it back. What comes to mind when watching this? Is it the eerie slowed down and reversed easy listening music? Is it the fact that this is yet another YouTube horror slap video with low effort music and a single creepy image that was likely part of a failed horror project of some kind? Maybe. I mean, that does appear to be the case here. This video was put up a few years ago, and the comments do make mention of an ARG I can't seem to find anywhere. And the fact that this video is unlisted makes it all the more likely that this is the case. But that's not what comes to my mind. No, what I'm thinking about is how familiar this image is. I swear that I've seen this before somewhere. I have no idea where or in what context, but I know that at some point in the past, I have looked at this image. Let's try to find out if we can see where it comes from. I think doing an image back search is probably the best way to go about this. The first lead that this brought me to was a scene from the 2006 horror mockumentary Lake Mungo. I've seen this movie a couple times, and this face definitely looks similar to the cell phone footage from Lake Mungo, with both faces being bloated and having one eye closed. But while they may be similar, they are unfortunately different enough that I don't think this purple face could be an edit of the girl from Lake Mungo. So I moved on to the next lead, which was the short movie poster I found on Letterboxd. This does look vaguely similar, but when actually watching this movie, it's pretty clear it can't be the source. I also found this ancient website, which I guess is supposed to be some sort of collection of female masks and disguises in media. Again, this does look similar to our image, but there are enough differences that I don't think it can be the source for it. Other than these three things, most of the other results I got while doing image back searches on Bing, Google, and Yandex were for the most part popular scary images, none of which were the source we're looking for. I did notice something strange though. Every time I would take a screenshot of the video and do a back search, I would get different results, even on the same search engine. I decided to take a closer look at the video, and it turns out that this isn't an image at all. It's actually a very short video that's been slowed down drastically. There's only a few frames here, but the image does change slightly between the beginning and end of the video. There also seems to be what used to be text in the bottom left corner, but the video is so low resolution, it's now been reduced to a white blur. I'm gonna be honest guys, I'm a little stumped with this one. I've been looking for quite a while, and I'm no closer to finding what this image is, but I do have a theory. There are a couple uncanny trollface images that look kinda similar to this, and I'm wondering if this is some over-edited uncanny trollface that's just been lost to time. The whole thing becoming uncanny trend was pretty huge a few years ago, and it's possible that this is just some forgotten relic of that recent era of the internet. It doesn't help that the image is so low resolution in this upload, and it seems like the piles of similar pictures search engines are spitting out at me are truly endless. And as much as I would like to keep looking, I gotta call it quits and move on to the next thing. If you recognize this image, please do let me know, whether it's in the comment section here or on my Instagram where you can send me a private message. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, you should definitely subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to show you more videos like this one. And don't forget, if you're curious about your genetic makeup, MyHeritage has a promotion going on right now, and you can use my coupon code Feral to get an extra 10% off your DNA kit. You can also get a 30-day free trial of their premium service. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.